I was watching our competitor's product launch video. The first 30 seconds were normal. At the 45th second, I stopped, rewound, watched again. This can't be, I thought. But there it was. Our thing, our specific thing. The thing no one was supposed to know yet. I picked up my phone, then put it down, because I didn't know who to call. My daughter, my lawyer, or him. My name is Sullivan Carver. I'm 54 years old, founder and CEO of a tech startup in Austin, Texas called Meridian Analytics. We build data visualization software for enterprise clients. It's a competitive industry. Secrets matter, patents matter, timing matters. This is the story of how my daughter's fiancé sold our company secrets to our biggest competitor for $40,000. How I discovered the betrayal, and how I had to choose between protecting my business and protecting my daughter's heart. My daughter Marlo is 25 years old. She's a graphic designer, works remotely for a marketing agency in San Francisco. Smart, creative, independent. My wife Iris and I raised her to think for herself and to trust her instincts. She met Leif Harding 2 years ago at a tech conference in Denver. He was 28, worked in tech consulting, whatever that means anymore. Everyone in Austin works in tech something. They dated long distance for a year. Leif would fly to Austin every few weeks. Seemed like a nice enough guy. Polite, well-dressed, asked good questions. Talked a lot about emerging technologies, industry trends, startup culture. I didn't think much of it. Marlo was happy. That's what mattered. In March 2024, Leif moved to Austin. Said he could work remotely now, wanted to be closer to Marlo. They got an apartment together in East Austin. 2 months later, they got engaged. Marlo called me from the apartment, crying happy tears. Dad, Leif proposed. We're getting married. Iris and I drove over immediately. Champagne, hugs, the whole thing. Leif seemed genuinely excited. So did Marlo. Welcome to the family, I told him, shaking his hand. Thank you, Sullivan. That means a lot. We set a date for the wedding, January 2025. 9 months away. Enough time to plan. After the engagement, I made an effort to get to know Leif better. He was going to be my son-in-law. Family. We'd have dinner together, me, Iris, Marlo, and Leif, every couple weeks. Sometimes at our place, sometimes at theirs. Leif was easy to talk to. He asked about Meridian Analytics, seemed genuinely interested in what we did. Data visualization is such a hot space right now, he said during one dinner. Everyone's trying to figure out how to make sense of massive data sets. That's the challenge, I agreed. Our clients have more data than they know what to do with. We help them see patterns, make decisions. How do you differentiate from competitors? There are a lot of players in this space. I appreciated the question. It showed he was thinking strategically. Our edge is in the user interface, I explained. Most data viz tools are clunky, built by engineers for engineers. Ours is intuitive. A marketing manager or sales director can use it without a PhD. That's smart. Democratizing the technology. Over the next few months, these conversations continued. Leif would ask about our product roadmap, our target markets, our pricing strategy. I didn't think it was strange. He worked in tech. This was shop talk. One evening in July, Leif mentioned he was doing some freelance consulting, mostly helping startups with go-to-market strategy, he said. Tech companies trying to figure out positioning, competitive differentiation. Sounds interesting. What kind of clients? Can't say much. NDAs, you know. But mostly SaaS companies. Some in the data space. I nodded. That made sense. In August, we were about 6 months from launching our next major product update, Meridian 3.0. It was a big deal. We'd been working on it for 18 months. The core innovation was something we called predictive insights, using machine learning to not just visualize but to predict trends and recommend actions. It was proprietary technology. We had a provisional patent filed. Only the core team knew the details. Me, our CTO, our lead engineers, and a handful of senior staff. Maybe 10 people total. One Saturday, Leaf stopped by our house. Marlo was out shopping with Iris. It was just us. "Sullivan, can I ask you something?" Leaf said. "Of course." "I've been thinking about Meridian's positioning. You're in a crowded market. What's your plan for breaking through the noise?" I hesitated. Then thought, why not? He's family. He works in tech. Maybe he'll have useful insights. "We have a major update coming," I said. "Early next year. It's going to change the game." "How so?" I pulled out my laptop. Opened a presentation deck, one I'd shown to our board of directors but hadn't made public. I said, "But I trust you." "Of course." I walked him through it. The concept of predictive insights, how it worked, the technical architecture, sample use cases, pricing strategy, everything. Leaf asked smart questions, took notes on his phone, seemed impressed. "This is incredible, Sullivan. You're going to dominate the market with this." That's the plan. Looking back, that was the moment. That Saturday afternoon when I handed him everything he needed. September 15th, 2024. I was in my office at Meridian, reviewing quarterly financials. My phone buzzed. A text from our CTO, Marcus. "Did you see Data Vista's announcement?" Data Vista was our biggest competitor. Similar product, similar market, about twice our size. I opened their website. Big banner. "Introducing Data Vista Pro 2.0. Now with predictive analytics." My stomach dropped. I clicked through to the product demo. Watched the video. 20 seconds in, I felt cold. 45 seconds in, I stopped breathing. It was our product, not similar, not inspired by. Our product. The interface was different, but the core functionality was identical. Predictive insights based on machine learning, automated trend detection, action recommendations. Even the terminology was the same. Phrases we'd coined internally, words that weren't standard in the industry. I watched the entire 15-minute demo twice. Took notes. Compared it to our own internal documentation. It wasn't a coincidence. This was a direct lift of our proprietary technology. Someone had given them our secrets. I called an emergency meeting with Marcus and our head of security. "How did this happen?" I asked. Marcus looked grim. "I don't know. We've been careful. NDAs with everyone. Limited access to the development servers." Who knew about predictive insights? We made a list. 10 people on the core team. Plus our patent attorney, plus our board members. That was it. 15 people total who had access to the full technical details. "Start investigating," I told security. "Check for any unusual data access, file transfers, anything." Over the next 3 days, they found nothing. No breaches. No suspicious activity on our servers. Could be social engineering. Our security lead suggested. Someone talked to the wrong person. I thought about everyone on the list. Engineers I'd worked with for years, board members who had millions invested in our success, our attorney who had an impeccable reputation. Then I thought about who else I'd shown the presentation to. Leaf. I didn't want to believe it. Leaf was engaged to my daughter. I'd trusted him, welcomed him into the family, but I couldn't ignore the possibility. That night, I went home and asked Marlo a casual question. "How's Leaf's consulting work going?" "Good, I think. He's been busy lately. A few big projects." "What kind of projects?" "I don't know exactly. He doesn't talk about work much. Client confidentiality, you know." Right. Which companies is he working with? Marlowe shrugged. He mentioned a few names, but I can't remember. Why? Just curious. I tried a different approach. Is he working with any data companies? Maybe. I think one of his clients does something with analytics. My chest tightened. The next day, I hired a private investigator, a discreet firm that specialized in corporate espionage cases. I need background on someone, I told them. Specifically, his recent financial activity and any business connections to a company called Data Vista. This is personal. It's my daughter's fiancé. The investigator nodded. He'd seen this before. The investigation took 2 weeks. On October 3rd, the investigator called me. I found something. We met at a coffee shop away from my office, away from anywhere I might run into Marlowe or Leaf. He slid a folder across the table. Leaf Harding received 2 payments in the last 4 months. Total of $40,000. Source: a consulting firm called Apex Strategic Advisors. Never heard of them. They're a shell company, registered in Delaware, but I traced the ownership. They're funded by Data Vista. I felt sick. So Data Vista paid Leaf $40,000. Through Apex, yes. The payments were listed as consulting fees. For what services? That's not specified, but the timing is interesting. First payment was August 15th, $20,000. Second was September 10th. Another $20,000. August 15th, 1 week after I showed Leaf our presentation. September 10th, 5 days before Data Vista announced their product. The investigator pulled out more documents. There's also this: email records obtained legally through a mutual contact. Leaf has been in correspondence with a Data Vista executive. Subject lines like market intelligence and competitive analysis. Can I see the emails? Most are encrypted or deleted, but I have metadata, dates, times, recipients. It was enough. Leaf had sold our secrets to Data Vista for $40,000. I sat in my car in that coffee shop parking lot for an hour, trying to decide what to do. Option 1. Confront Leaf directly. Demand answers. Maybe he'd confess, maybe he'd lie. Option 2. Go to Marlowe first. Tell her what I'd found. Let her confront him. Option 3. Go to the police. File charges. Corporate espionage is a crime. Option 4. Say nothing. Let the wedding happen. Protect Marlowe's happiness. I couldn't do option 4. This wasn't just about my feelings. This was about my company, my employees, the investors who trusted me. And it was about Marlowe. She deserved to know who she was about to marry. I drove to Marlowe's apartment. She was home alone. Leaf was out, she said. Dad, what are you doing here? Can we talk? Sure. Is everything okay? I sat down on her couch, took a breath. Marlowe, I need to tell you something about Leaf. Her face changed immediately. Defensive. What about him? Our competitor launched a product last month that's identical to what we've been developing. Someone gave them our proprietary information. Okay, what does that have to do with Leaf? I showed Leaf our product plans in August. I trusted him. I thought he was family. He is family. Marlowe, he sold that information to Data Vista for $40,000. Silence. Then, that's insane. Leif wouldn't do that. I have proof, bank records, email metadata, payments from a shell company owned by Data Vista. I don't believe you. I hired a private investigator. Her face went red. You investigated my fiancé? Behind my back. I had to know. No, you didn't. You just don't like him. You've never liked him. That's not true. Get out. Marlowe ... Get out. I left. 2 days later, Leaf showed up at my office. My assistant called. There's a Leaf Harding here to see you. He doesn't have an appointment. Send him in. Leaf walked in, closed the door behind him. Sullivan, we need to talk. I agree. Marlowe told me what you said. About Data Vista. About money. It's true. No, it's not. I pulled out the folder from the investigator. Slid it across my desk. Bank records. $40,000. 2 payments from Apex Strategic Advisors, a shell company owned by Data Vista. Leaf glanced at the papers. His jaw tightened. Those are consulting fees. Legitimate work. What work? Market research. Competitive analysis. I was hired to provide insights on the data visualization industry. Insights you got from me. General industry knowledge. Nothing proprietary. Leaf. Data Vista's new product is identical to ours. Same functionality, same terminology. You're the only person outside our core team who knew those details. Coincidence. 45-second mark in their demo video. They use the phrase, predictive decision engine. That's our phrase. We coined it. It's in our patent application. Leaf said nothing. You sold our secrets, I said. You used my trust, my relationship with my daughter, to steal from my company. I didn't steal anything. You committed corporate espionage. He stood up. Prove it. I will. You do that, and Marlowe will never forgive you. You'll lose your daughter. I'm trying to protect her. From what? A successful husband. Someone who knows how to make money in this industry. From a liar. He walked to the door, turned back. You have no idea what you're doing, Sullivan, but you will. He left. I called our corporate attorney that afternoon. We have a case, she said after reviewing everything. Corporate espionage, breach of confidence, misappropriation of trade secrets. But it's going to be complicated. Why? Because he's your daughter's fiancé. Any legal action will be public. It'll destroy their relationship. Are you prepared for that? I thought about Marlowe. How angry she'd been. How she'd defended him. I don't have a choice. You always have a choice. My company is at risk. My employees' livelihoods. Our investors' money. I can't let this go. Understood. I'll draft a cease and desist letter to Leaf and a formal complaint to Data Vista's legal team. What about criminal charges? That's harder. Corporate espionage cases are difficult to prosecute. You need clear evidence of intent, which is tricky. But we can threaten it as leverage. Over the next week, our attorney sent letters. Data Vista's lawyers responded immediately. Denial, refusal to engage, threats of countersuits for defamation. Leaf didn't respond at all. Marlowe stopped returning my calls. Iris tried. Sweetheart, your father is just trying to protect his business by destroying my life. Leaf betrayed him. You don't know that? The evidence... I don't care about evidence. Dad hired a private investigator to spy on my fiancé. How am I supposed to trust him after that? Iris came home in tears. She won't listen, she said. She thinks we're trying to sabotage her relationship. What if I'm wrong? I asked. What if there's an explanation? You saw the bank records. The timing. But what if I'm destroying her happiness for nothing? Iris put her hand on mine. You're not wrong, Sullivan. And even if you were, you did what any father would do. You tried to protect her. She hates me. She's hurt. She'll come around, but weeks passed. And Marlowe didn't come around. In November, 2 months before the scheduled wedding, I got a text from Marlowe. The wedding is postponed, not canceled. Postponed. I called her. She answered, Marlowe, what happened? Leaf and I need time to figure things out because of what I said. Because of everything. Did he admit it? Silence. Marlowe, he says you're wrong. That you misunderstood the consulting work. That the payments were legitimate. And you believe him? I don't know what to believe. I have proof, Marlowe. Bank records, email metadata, timing that lines up perfectly. I know. Then why? Because I love him, Dad, and I want to believe him. My heart broke. I understand. Do you? Yes, I do. I need time. Take all the time you need. She hung up. In December, something unexpected happened. Data Vista's lawyers reached out with a settlement offer. They want to avoid litigation, our attorney explained. They're willing to pay damages and agree to modify their product to remove the similar features. How much? $250,000, more than 6 times what they'd paid Leif. Why now? My guess? They realize the case is strong. If this goes to court, they could lose millions. Better to settle quietly. What about Leif? He's not part of the settlement. But if Data Vista is admitting fault, it indirectly confirms what he did. I thought about it. The money would help, but it wouldn't undo the damage. Accept the settlement, I said. But I want a public statement, acknowledgement that they used proprietary information. They'll never agree to that. Then no deal. After 2 more weeks of negotiation, Data Vista agreed to a carefully worded statement. Data Vista acknowledges certain features in our recent product release were informed by confidential competitive intelligence that should not have been acquired. It wasn't a full admission, but it was enough. In January, Marlo called. Dad, can we talk? Of course. We met at a coffee shop, neutral ground. I broke up with Leif, she said. I didn't say anything, just waited. I asked him about the money, about Data Vista. He kept saying it was legitimate consulting, but I pushed, and eventually he admitted it. What did he say? He said you showed him confidential information, that he didn't think it was wrong to share general industry insights with a client, that the timing was just coincidence. Do you believe him? No. Her eyes filled with tears. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized. He used me. He used us to get close to your company. I reached across the table, took her hand. I'm so sorry, Marlo. You were right. And I hated you for it. You were protecting someone you loved. I understand. I should have listened. You listened when you were ready. We sat there for a long time, just holding hands. It's been 6 months since Marlo broke up with Leif. She's doing better. Seeing a therapist, processing the betrayal, slowly rebuilding trust in herself, in others, in me. Leif left Austin. Last I heard, he's in Denver, still doing tech consulting. Meridian Analytics launched our Predictive Insights product in March. Despite Data Vista's head start, we're gaining market share. Turns out, having the original technology and the team that understands it deeply matters. The settlement money helped. We hired 2 more engineers, expanded our sales team, but the real cost wasn't financial. It was trust, family, the relationship with my daughter that took months to repair. If I could go back to that Saturday afternoon when I showed Leif our presentation, would I do it differently? Yes, obviously. But the mistake wasn't just showing him the slides. It was assuming that being engaged to my daughter meant he was trustworthy. That family status equals loyalty. I've learned that trust has to be earned, not assumed. Even with people you want to trust. Marlo learned something too. That love doesn't mean ignoring red flags. That defending someone is different from enabling them. We talk about it sometimes, carefully. Do you think he planned it from the beginning? She asked me once. Getting close to me to get to your company? I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe the opportunity presented itself and he took it. I don't know which is worse. Neither do I. What I do know is this. $40,000 was his price for betraying my family's trust. That's what our secrets were worth to him. And in doing so, he lost something worth far more than money. He lost Marlo. He lost the respect of everyone who knew what he'd done. He lost his reputation in an industry where reputation is everything. I hope it was worth it, but I doubt it was. Marlo is moving forward. So am I. So is Meridian Analytics. The wedding that was supposed to happen in January never did. Deposits were lost. Invitations were canceled. Marlo's dress hangs in her closet, unworn. But she's okay. Stronger even. Wiser. And our relationship, mine and hers, is stronger too. Because we went through something hard together and came out the other side. Leif Harding sold my company's secrets for $40,000. In the process, he destroyed his own future, and we rebuilt ours.